Well, howdy, howdy. It's a great day because we are looking at new pottery today. Now, I gotta confess that I didn't just get these done. I took them out and did some gold painting on them, which turned out really cool. I'm really excited with a lot of my new stuff. Now, recently, someone asked me, where do you get all your new ideas? What kind of drives your creative process, and how does that happen? I don't make the same pot twice. I think I may have once or twice, but yeah, it's something I really don't like doing. So that means that I just have a lot of, I just gotta keep things moving, and always be modifying and trying new things. It keeps you on your toes. And I like being on my toes. That's when I do my best work. And I think one way that, probably my biggest way that I get better at making pottery is just learning from other potters, seeing what they're doing, and, well, riffing, on them like a musician would, when musicians riff on other musicians, potters riff on other potters, and I'm always looking like, oh, how did they do that foot, or how did they carve that? What technique did they use, How do they do their glazes? And I'm always looking for just certain things, of someone else's pots, and how would I, put that on my pottery in my own way. Potters are very much communal creatures. We always have been. And I think with a lot of arts and a lot of things, people are pretty competitive. But for the most part, potters stick together, and we teach each other, our tricks, and we're, for the most part, pretty open, about sharing how we do things, I think for one reason, because people have done that to us, right? We learn from each other, and what exactly hasn't been done before, and what haven't I learned from someone else, Now, I may have my own little spins and stuff, but, I am deeply indebted to all those who came before me. And just learning their stuff, and giving it my own spin, You notice that I like a lot of traditional pottery and Chinese, Japanese pots. So I am always combining the old with the new in that way. Yeah, and as I was saying, that potters are very communal, because they learn from others, and that's how, historically, potters kind of followed the clay, and places where there was good clay and good supplies tended to draw a lot of pottery makers, and with so much resources you need, you kind of need to stick together just to get all the supplies and stuff that you need. So it's a very communal thing. And it's pretty cool on Instagram, we're always cheering each other on and you know, looking at each other's pots, you know, by the hour. It's a lot of fun, and you learn a lot, and my work has really exploded since I've gotten on there and started looking around. Yeah, first time around I was in school and used that community there, and now my community is worldwide. You know, I got friends from all over the world, you know, and we have pottery in common, you know, which is pretty cool. You know, and it's, I think, even if I don't necessarily like someone's stuff that much, you know, I understand what their stuff meant to them, you know, means what my stuff means to me, you know, and I like people through their pots, you know, and yeah, it's kind of cool, you know, you recognize potters before you see their name, you know, posted. It's like, oh yeah, I know that vase or that style, you know, or that reminds me of some other potter, you know. Yeah, see the gold paint I got on there? I don't know how well it shows, but it really shines. Like it a lot. It's just a regular paint. Yeah, it's not a glaze. It's pretty tough, you know. Can't really scratch it off with your fingernails. It's pretty, you know, you have to try to get it off of there. I don't know, you know, if it'll stand up to microwave or dishwasher. But, yeah, that's just one more layer that makes my pottery deeper. Like having lots of layers. And another place where I learn from and get ideas is, well, failing, you know, and mistakes, I guess might be a better word. You know, just the other day I was throwing, kind of trying stuff out right. I'm throwing the lids to pots and then using the torch to dry them out. So I throw the lid first, and then I throw a pot to match the lid after that. Kind of cool, you don't have to measure that way. And I threw a really nice lid, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have that much clay left. What am I going to do? So I had to get creative and find a way to make a small pot, you know, with a big lid and make it look right, you know. So I just took a little challenge there, you know. Or like the teapot, you know, I made. You know, I need to get out of my comfort zone. And so many of my favorite pots were ones that I messed up on, and I just took that as a license to play, you know, and just kind of have fun. I think that mindset is really important for doing my best work. You know, I want to just have fun, right? And to just play and to have a sense of play instead of trying to get done. Trying to enjoy, you know, what I'm doing, you know, and just playing, right? You know, like if you go fishing, you know, you're not worried about getting done. A lot of times you just want to stay there, and I find that when I see my pottery as a chance to play, then, you know, I stay in the studio a lot longer, you know. And that definitely slows me down, you know. Think that the more time I spend in a pot, the better it gets a lot of times. So, you know, I just see that spending time as making a better and better pot. You know, it helps a lot, just cubbypotamus, right, and having an audience, right, because I want to wow people, and, you know, I always want to make pots that people are like, ooh, you know, and that helps a lot. You know, that makes it exciting, you know. And it's also good because it allows me to be about the pottery, right, and not about the business. You know, if I'm trying to push the boundaries, you know, and find new stuff and get better and better, then, you know, that's not focusing on demographics and stuff. You know, that's making the pots that I want to make. And that's why I do this, because I like making pottery, not certainly not to make money. Yeah, there are better ways to do that. Yeah. And I think another part of my creative process, or something that I really enjoy, is making pottery for people, right? And I think I make really good work when I do that, when I get commissions, right? And now I don't take orders, but I might take a direction, right? So, okay, well, you make a vase for my sister, right? Or a tea bowl for my, you know, friend or whatever, right? And I'll look at talk to, you know, see what they're like, their personality, right? Maybe look at their social media and get an idea what they're like, and I'll make them a cup or a vase, whatever, you know, for the size and price that they'll just like, you know. And I decide what that is. And from there, right, the person has the option of buying that or not. I mean, they don't have to. I don't put personalized messages on commissions, because then people don't show up, right, and trying to sell a pot, you know, to my sister Michelle, you know. No, I just, you know, make a pot for that person, but I don't personalize it, because if they don't want it or they don't show, then I can sell it otherwise, and I have no trouble probably selling those, because those are some of my best pieces. Yeah, it makes me put more thought into the pot and thought into the person. I think that's, you know, when I do my best work, but, you know, at the same time, the creative process has to all be me, right? Mine. I don't put logos on stuff, you know. I don't take orders on how to do the pots, you know. That's a non-negotiable for me, you know. I make my creative decisions. Yeah, look at that one. And another thing, I guess, that drives my creative processes is, you know, I think just being skill-driven, right? Like, I want to do at least a small area of a pot, you know, in detail, and do it really well and just acquire a new skill, right? and figuring out how to incorporate that skill, you know, into the pottery and making pottery that fits on. I think that's always a good thing, you know. Like, just practicing on attaching handles or something, you know. And upping my game is a good way to get new ideas, right? Anyhow, this was cubbypotamus, and thank you for watching. Maybe I'll see you around sometime.